There's
Okay.
just like a crack of light that keeps coming through. I'm just trying to close the curtains, but anyway, we're good.
It's all good. It's all good. Hey, listen, if we haven't gotten this Zoom thing down by now, who cares?
I know. Well, you know what I like about it is like, it is sort of casual. It's like, yeah, my dog's barking and my kid's running around, but everyone sort of gets it. So it's like, all right, cool. We don't have to leave our houses. We can like have coffee and sit in our little rooms and have a discussion. And you don't have to go anywhere or be in a studio or meet up. I'm just like, this is great. This is cool.
I have to agree with you. I'm getting a little bit too used to it. But anyway, listen,
Yeah.
Happy New Year to you, Shawn, and greetings from Toronto, fellow Canuck.
Hey, thank you. My home, sweet home.
Yes. We miss you here. We have to get you back at some point. But my goodness, there's so much to talk to you about, because not just the film, but I am a huge fan of The Rookie. So I caught,
awesome.
I just love it. And I love where your character's going. So good on you for that. But let's talk Free Fall first, and then we'll get into The Rookie. Congratulations on this performance, man. Did you ever creep me out? So you did your job.
Good. Yeah, that was the intention. I read the script and I loved it. It was bizarre. It was scary. It was as strange as I don't want to spoil too much, but as strange as this is, I actually loved this character. I understood him.
Okay.
I think there were several different ways to play this character, Nick. And let me just give a brief synopsis. So basically, the film is about Sarah, our main character, our protagonist, who, after attempting to take her own life, survives and comes to in this house where she has no recollection of her past. Right. And the only person that's there is her husband, who she doesn't remember. So he has this intimate, deep connection with her, and to her, he's just a stranger. And so that's where the movie jumps off, is like this real tension between these two people. One person, my character, who's madly in love with his wife and trying to remind her of their relationship, their past, and the love that they have. And Sarah, who's just coming out of with fragmented memories of this attempted suicide, not having any idea who he is. Right. So that's where we jump in. Yeah. So inherently there's going to be drama and weirdness. He's trying to create this intimacy, and she's kind of really scared of this guy and unsure of who he is. And throughout the film, it really is a mystery, trying to figure out what's happening. Is she sort of off because of the tragic events that happened, or is Nick really kind of this kind of sinister, manipulative guy? And we just don't know and until the movie plays out. Yeah. But what I liked about it is that as much as Nick is manipulative at times and, is definitely like gaslighting her in different ways, even though I knew where the movie went, I felt like his intentions were pure. And I don't mean that they were good. I just mean that, he says things to her like, I need you. I can't lose you again. I love you. And he means that. He needs her. He can't lose her. So there was a genuineness. Yeah. Even though it's not the truth that the audience necessarily thinks, he means that. So when I'm playing those scenes and when he breaks down and cries to her, like, he means that. Right. It's not a manipulation necessarily. He's not lying to her. His truth is just different from her truth. And so I like that. And walking that fine line and having that mystery sort of like go through the film was kind of fun. And I was desperate to know the truth when I was reading the script. So that's what drew me to it. When I figured it out, I was like, oh, this is great. Like, this will be a lot of fun to sort of like try to pull an audience through this story and through this mystery. Absolutely.
It's a real good roller coaster ride. And I would think for you, a little bit of a challenge, because it's a little different for you.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I mean, and these are the roles that I love to play, the roles that I don't necessarily get. I don't think people see me as this kind of character, but it also leans in and helps when an audience has an expectation of the kind of character you're going to play, and then you turn out not to be that. Right. It sort of adds to that. I was just talking to someone who was like, I've been watching you since you were a kid, and I thought I knew, and it was almost creepier to see this actor who I see playing these kind of like leading roles or nice guy roles be not that. And so they're like, just the persona that you have as an actor almost helped sell this character in a way. And I was like, that's how I felt. And it was the same thing for the character Lamplighter I played on The Boys. Like, people are used to seeing me play a hero, Iceman, and then all of a sudden I'm playing Pyro. I'm playing like the bad guy. And that was very intentional on The Boys, on the filmmaker's choice. Like, I think they wanted to play against that expectation. And again, that's what was fun for me. I was like, oh, everybody sees me as the hero. Well, now I get to be kind of the villain. So it's fun.
Absolutely. And I was going to say, I mean, you mentioned, look, I've been knowing you for a million years, interviewing you exactly since you were a little kid. And you look at something like, I mean, I can't even believe it's been almost 10 years since X-Men, you know, debuted and everything. And Shawn, when you have a movie like that come into your, you know, your radar, how does that change your life? Because the fan base, not just for X-Men, but of course the boys, the fans that come with that kind of experience is crazy. You know, how does that affect you?
You know what? Well, just from a purely career standpoint, like being cast in the first X-Men, even though I only worked for 2 weeks and I had like just a handful of scenes, that changed the trajectory of my career, you know. And again, I wasn't a lead in the movie. I was an actor hired in Toronto, you know, for a couple of weeks work. Like I was, you know, that's it. But it does start to change the trajectory. It's like the optics. Like all of a sudden I'd be walking down the street, and again, I didn't think anybody would recognize me for that, and people would just be like, hey, it's Iceman. And I was like, yeah, I guess, like, sure. So it does change the trajectory, but but that's it, you know. Like I think because I've been acting for so long, and I've been a part of like a lot of science fiction and fantasy stuff that has very loyal fan bases, everything from like Animorphs on, you know, which was based on a book series, and that had like it was a short-lived show, but it had like a pretty intense fan base at the time because it had a built-in audience with the books. I'm sort of used to it, you know. So that sort of fan base, the really intense, fun, dedicated science fiction, fantasy, comic book fan base, I've sort of like, it's been a part of my professional career since I can remember. So it's awesome. Like you couldn't find more honest, pure, excited fans. Now, there's pros and cons. Like you're adapting characters that have existed in other mediums, and so there are fans that are unhappy with the way that you've done that. But I can accept that. I feel the same way when something that I'm really attached to, or I've read and feel really passionate about, and it's adapted and I don't like the choices. I don't blame anybody for it. It's, you know, it's a creative decision, and you sort of, as an artist and as an actor, filmmaker, writer, whatever, you have to make the choices that you think are the best. So I have had those moments where people are like, oh my God, I love Iceman. And then I've had the moments where it's like, yeah, I just didn't really like what you guys did with that character. And I'm like, fair. People doesn't that upset you? Doesn't that make you mad? No, like I totally, I get it.
Yeah, like, because they're so passionate about their character.
And you can't, and we did do different things with that character, you know? And so I'm like, I get it. If you didn't like it, you didn't like it. I can accept that.
Yeah, it's really cool. And then, as I said, as we wrap up, I want to address the rookie, because I love where Wes, your character, is going, because, you know, in the beginning he was there, but man, getting involved with these really bad dudes. I mean, honestly, he's lucky he's still alive. I mean, I mean, look, we've only seen the first episode of January so far, so who knows what's happening. But, you know, it must be so much fun for you to work with this cast, to have like Nathan Fillion around, because he's such a jokester and such a good guy, fellow Canadian. You know, what's it like for you to be on that series and have such a great storyline? Yeah,
it's fantastic. Alexi Hawley, who's the creator of the show, he was a writer and then co-showrunner on a show called The Following I did. And I became friends with Alexi. So when The Rookie came up, the show was already on the air, and I kind of reached out to him and I was like, hey, you know, are there any opportunities? He's like, yeah, there's actually this role, like it's a few episodes, you might kind of have fun. And so I jumped on and I was like, great, like it's a fun show. I love the cast. And then it sort of kept growing. It was like, well, we kind of like the romance between, you know, Alyssa's character and my character, and sort of it kind of grew organically. Like I was brought on as a recurring character, and then it's grown to be a part where it's, you know, integral to the story and important. And I just love it. It's a fun show to be on. Like that, when people ask me about it, I'm like, it's just a fun show. It's like the cast is amazing, the tone is amazing, and it's just fun. Like when I say it's an easy gig, I don't mean like, oh, it's just a breeze. I just mean like it's fun to be there with everybody.
Because it's, you know, like
you show up, everybody wants to be there, everybody's having fun, there's no attitudes. Again, a lot of that stems from Nathan, as it did with Kevin Bacon on The Following. It's like when you're number one, when your lead is like excited to be there and talented and, then you just, the job is easy. You just show up and so this is definitely one of those opportunities and one of those shows where everybody's having fun. It's a good group. And it's a fun show, like it's just a fun show.
It is a fun show. I really, really enjoy it. Well, listen, I could talk to you forever, but I know there's lots of people waiting for you. It's always my pleasure to have the opportunity to talk to you, Shawn. Best of luck. And Free Fall's a good one. My goodness. So keep up the good work on everything. And hopefully we'll see you back home here in Toronto.
Stay warm in Toronto. I'm always looking to come home.
Okay, good. So we'll let you back in. Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye.